Now, I want to make something clear. I love Nintendo. Nintendo games make up at least 80% of the games that I play. They're just all really good. Okay, not all of them are good, but enough for me to be confident that I'll have a good time when I get one. They're just so well designed and thought through. I discover new details every time I play one of their games. Most of their games are good, but their really good ones are really good. Often when I see the process of a specific game, they say they took inspiration from a Nintendo game. You would be lying if you said that not every 3D platformer took some inspiration from Super Mario 64. And there are many examples of Nintendo redefining genres and heck making genres, inspiring countless designers to put their heart and soul into their own creation. Unless it's a Nintendo fan game, then they'll delete it. Nintendo is a little infamous for something: removing fan-made games. Yeah, there are multiple examples of people making their own games that are based off of Nintendo properties, and then Nintendo takes them down. They have gotten quite a bit of backlash for this. Multiple people have talked about this, and you can now add me to the list. I know what you're thinking. These websites that the games are on most likely have ads, so the creators are making money off of a franchise that doesn't belong to them. And that is the case with some examples, but the problem is that there are also games on websites that have no ads. These creators worked for years of their lives working on something that they are passionate about and knew that they would not make any money off of it. They just want to share their passion for the franchise to equally passionate players. I'm honestly really disappointed in Nintendo. I have to wonder if they even bothered trying out the games that they're so quick to remove. If I were a part of Nintendo, I would personally feel humbled to see something that I created inspire other people to make their own games. So today I'm going to dive into two specific examples of Nintendo fan games that I found interesting. And I'm doing it today in the first episode of Nintendo Talks. So some of you might know of a Pokémon fan game known as Pokémon Uranium version, developed by, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. The game takes place in a fictional region known as the Tandor region, with over 100 new fan-made Pokemon. It has the basic Pokemon premise of collecting 8 badges so you can face the Pokemon champion and take the title. Now, the most interesting thing about this game is its development and release. Now hear this, Pokémon Uranium version took 9 years to release. That is a long time, even for a video game. Yeah, the average development time for a game is about 3 to 5 years. But I got that info from Wikipedia, so don't quote me on that. Yeah. The game was made on the RPG Maker XP engine, and it was released for free on its official website on August 6th, 2016. The game got a lot of attention. So much so that it managed to be downloaded over 1.5 million times on its first day. Now that is impressive. Unfortunately, it also got enough attention for Nintendo to notice its growing popularity, and not long after its release, the game was taken off the official website by request of lawyers representing Nintendo. A month later, the website was also shut down. Now, the Game Awards had a category for Best Fan Creation, and the game was nominated for that category. But, without warning, the game was taken off the nomination list along with another fan game that I'll also be talking about. No one knows for sure why the game was removed from the nominations, but people have speculated that it had to do with the Game Awards following the request of Nintendo. And that, my friends, is the interesting but unfortunately short history of Pokémon Uranium Edition. I would like to talk about one more fan game based on the Metroid series, and how I kinda get why Nintendo would take it down, but not entirely. The game is called Another Metroid 2 Remake, or AM2R for short. The reason is a tiny bit more understandable, is that the remake of Metroid 2, a game by Nintendo, and people have access to it without paying. This still isn't good, because the creator still worked on it, if that makes any sense. Kind of. The game was created by Milton Gausti and adds much to the original game. Much. Including new graphics, music, areas, and bosses. The game had a bit of a rocky development due to the decreasing motivation of the development team due to them working for free and in their spare time. Many changes also had to be made from the original game that added to the development time, but in August 2016, the game was officially released. The creator knew about Nintendo's stance and encouraged people to buy the original game on the Nintendo eShop. Despite this, on its first day, the game was taken down by request of Nintendo. Like I said before, this example is a bit more understandable, but it is still bad. And similar to Pokémon Uranium, it was nominated for the Best Fan Creation at the Game Awards, but was taken off the list. And that's the story of AM2R. Now, my explanation of these games are pretty brief. There probably is a lot more to these games and their story, so I encourage you to look into them and other Nintendo fan games. And these are only a few examples. Nintendo has taken over hundreds of non-profit fan games. Let me say that again. Hundreds of fan games, probably of varying degrees of quality. That is a crazy number of games to be taken down. I can see why they would do this, but I do not agree with them. And this gives your company bad press. Do you want to be seen as the company that hates their fans and does not care for fan games? Letting fan games be made could be so great. Just imagine the possibility of a massive fan community being backed and encouraged by you. That would be pretty awesome. You know what? I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Oh my gosh. You should be more like SEGA. Ugh. SEGA, unlike Nintendo, does not mercilessly take down fan games. In fact, there are so many Sonic the Hedgehog fan games that are all available to play. A large community of Sonic fans make their own games to share for free. It is a beautiful thing. There is one Sonic fan game creator I want to mention specifically, and how one of the greatest things in gaming occurred because of him and SEGA. The creator is Christian Whitehead. He was known for making a lot of fan games of the Blue Hedgehog, so much so that it got the attention of SEGA. They hired him to port the original Sonic the Hedgehog games on the Genesis over to mobile, entrusting him to improve and change the games for mobile. Not only does SEGA allow people to make Sonic fan games, but also hires one of them to port their most beloved games onto mobile. And it gets better. A lot better. SEGA allowed Christian, along with indie developers Headcanon and Padoga West Games, to make their own Sonic game. And that game is Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania was a massive homage to the classic Sonic games, taking the elements of the old games and adding their own modern spin in the original game. The game mixes up the classic zones from the old games and has new original zones as well. People were amazed by its amazing sprites and gameplay. They captured what made Sonic fun and managed to create what many people call the definitive Sonic the Hedgehog experience. An experience that is arguably SEGA couldn't even replicate if they tried. The game became a smash hit and will stand the test of time. And that is a brief but awesome history of Sonic Mania. Now, to conclude this video, I'm going to talk directly to Nintendo. Not like anyone there would actually watch this video, but whatever. Nintendo, come on, just let them make fan games. The fan game community could do so much with your intellectual properties. I mean, just look at some of them and the word quality will immediately come to mind. Let your fans spread their creative wings a bit. And hey, maybe if they end up being really good games, you can do what SEGA did with Sonic Mania and give your fans the resources and support to make something truly spectacular. Well guys, that wraps up the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And now a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow.